Okay, ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Welcome to Cash Cuties.
I didn't know what I was supposed to say. I forgot the part that I was supposed to say.
How
Welcome
could you forget? This
I'm
is literally
sorry. This is only
literally your second, third.
This is our
second
remake
2.5. Yeah.
remake of the second episode.
Yes,
'cause
you
we didn't
forgot
like
what this was already.
okay. Let's do it again.
Okay,
Let's do it again.
Here we go. Ready?
Welcome to Cash Cuties.
a super personal finance podcast where we analyze our friends' super private credit card statements and judge their spending habits with love. I am Fumi
And I'm Steffie Bay.
And welcome. This is our remake of the second episode because our second episode was ass.
It was ass, but we're also extremely anal.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of butt stuff.
A lot of butt.
Steffi, how are you doing financially?
I feel like it's a struggle every single day. That's all in my head because I'm financially actually probably safe. And but really it's about the fact that I've been spending so much money on boba. And there's a part of me that like I enjoy, that I'm helping these Asian American boba shops,
local
keep
businesses.
them running. Yeah. But I've been having boba every single day and also buying my friends boba.
Why?
Why am I buying it or why am I drinking it?
Why are you buying your friend's boba?
Because I feel like it's such a nice treat to get somebody. Don't you think? It's like when you go get boba, it's not like coffee where there's like a business aspect to getting coffee or like a meeting aspect.
Oh,
Something
right,
about
right,
boba
right.
is a treat.
It's a
like
treat.
Ice cream.
And no one is shaking hands and making deals while sipping on those little balls.
You can't.
No one's making deals.
No.
And there is something very calming about just two friends sharing a sweet drink together.
It's so innocent,
It's
know?
very
Like
innocent.
you would never split ice cream, right? If we went to go get ice cream, I want to treat you to ice cream.
Yeah.
When I go get boba, which is usually my call when I'm with a friend, I'm like, oh my God, let's go get boba.
Yeah.
And they're usually like, all right. So
Yeah.
I'm bringing them along on this.
So you're treating them,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like I should pay
Right.
for them. And I want to.
Right.
So now I've been spending, and boba has gotten so expensive. It's gotten like my favorite boba spot, Yifang, or I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. It's from Taiwan. It's the best. They have one in Koreatown. I also go to the SGV, which is like 20 minutes away, but I need to go.
You go there. How much is
Oh my
it
God.
per thing now?
It's like
these days?
about $8. $8 because they're using
What was
real
it
fruit.
before?
I feel like it was some
Like
places.
six?
Yeah, no, some places like if you go to It's Boba Time, which is like a chain of I think it's franchise.
Yeah.
It's like $4.50. You could get it for $4.50 with free
Oh.
boba sometimes.
I always thought boba was pretty expensive, but 8 seems pretty. I mean, that's as much as like a oatmeal latte kind of thing.
Yeah, but
or
they're
like
using real fruit. That's the
to
real
make
fruit
the
pieces
to make the
at Yifang. Yeah, and they have taro. It's not like the
Oh.
instant powder. This is like actually like they take taro and they cream it up and
Yeah.
they make it into this like slush and
Yeah.
they put it into drinks. So I feel justified that I'm paying enough. Also, the branding just looks so like natural and expensive. And so I'm like, okay, I'm willing to pay that little bit of
This
amount.
is what happens when Americans start accepting Asian culture. Is our shit gets more expensive. That's the problem.
Yeah.
I remember when there was a point in our country where people were like, people eat raw fish? That's disgusting. And now like you can't eat a dinner at a sushi spot unless
Yeah.
you drop like $40.
Yeah, it's so
That's the price we pay for like
It's
white
the
people
pri-
liking us.
That's actually true. And the other part of why it gets more expensive is now, I think it's after the pandemic, I think we talked
Yeah.
about this, is the tipping system.
Yeah.
I feel so like the person's right there. They're asking, and it's already like 15,
I fucking
20.
hate that iPad thing now.
Oh,
Everywhere
my
you go, there's a
God.
tip option. And I'm like, what are you talking about? You just changed my tires. Like, include that in the fucking price.
Don't you just hope that person just turns around for a second?
Yeah.
So you can just kind of.
There should be like an app or service
Yeah.
that helps you create a distraction when you pay so you don't have to tip them. Like someone just running, like just literally like in that moment, if someone ran by naked and was like, Obama is a lizard person or something, I could just be like, $0, thank you, bye. And I could just leave. I would pay $3 to that guy just so I don't have to
funny.
do this,
But what about that little time in that moment where you have to wait for the boba? So even if that person got distracted after
Right.
the lizard,
But he flips it around and he sees that you
Yeah.
paid no money, and then you have to.
you have to.
He has to make your boba, knowing he gave you 0 tip.
Yeah, sheepishly you wait in
Ooh.
the side. This is why I can't not do it. I feel like if we all collectively stopped,
Stop tipping.
I would feel less guilty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the tipping thing is just
It's
that iPad thing makes you so. Look, it was like a coffee shop with a little jar up top with some cash in it. I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
But it's so passive aggressive. It's like it's non-consensual tipping. It's like
absolutely.
to me it's like the you know when like you're hooking up with a guy
Yeah.
and they go, oh, I forgot a condom, and you're like,
Ugh.
fuck, just put it in, you know. As that happens to me all the time. Guys are putting
Wow.
it in me all the time. I don't know why
like,
my sex
wow,
example
you're
was
like-
from the women's perspective. That made no sense.
Well, hey.
But it's that, but boba. That's
Yeah.
what it feels like to me. You know?
Yeah, that's actually
Anyways,
very true.
Yeah.
And they've been passive aggressive is right, because now you know how they suggested options. They don't even add 15 anymore. Remember when it started at 10 to 15?
Yeah,
It's now
20, 25.
18, 20,
Yes,
22,
and in
20.
custom. And in custom, like I'm gonna fucking give you more.
No.
Oh
But
god.
so I saw my friend yesterday. He switched custom. He put in like $1, which was only 10%.
yeah.
But it felt like that didn't seem that bad because he had
Yeah,
gotten one
yeah.
coffee.
You're right. I think $1 tip is fine.
Yeah.
And I think we as a society, here's the thing: we're just lazy, right? You can press 18 and you're done, or you
They
can
know
press
it.
5 buttons, and so they know that shit. But anyways, well, that's great that you're drinking boba.
Yeah.
And
So how about you? I want to know about your financial.
how am I doing financially?
How are you doing?
Well, I don't know how much I talked about this last time, but I used to have like a regular job. Then I became a full-time comedian, writer's full-time job, and then now I'm unemployed. And now I'm just like gigging. That's sort of what I'm doing. I'm just making money doing random freelance gigs. And part of the gigging process is me doing like headlining stand-up comedy shows
Yeah.
out of town.
Mm-hmm.
And when you go out of town, you kind of don't know what the vibe is like, and sometimes you bring an opener because people bring an opener because it's fun to hang out with somebody. You do have to pay them a little bit of money, but it's a nice buffer because if the crowd is bad or like if the energy's weird, you basically feed your opener to the wolves, and that opener will bomb for you. So when you get on stage, you can do less bombing, if the show is bad. But I'm so worried about money that like I don't book any openers ever, and so I just go alone. And so I'm dealing with all the bullshit while trying to headline and make a good impression on the people who hired me. And that is just like such a fucking...
Wait, can't you just get like a young person who is like thirsty to just be on set, and like you're already someone that's got a following? I would assume there are these like younger comedians who are down to
So
just
in
open
LA,
for free.
yes. In LA, yes. But like in
Oh.
like if I'm doing something in Texas, I don't know any comedians in Houston. I'd have to do some digging or whatever,
Yeah,
and
like it's not worth it.
so it's like and like I think I'm like overreacting because it's a matter of like $100, but like you don't make that much doing stand-up comedy shows. So even that is like a lot to me because I'm like in my mind, I'm like, oh, that's like a Uber from airport and back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm bombing my ass off trying to save $100. I'm like being stingy. I'm like a stingy comedian.
Dude, don't you want to seem funnier for $100?
That's the thing is like that's a great question. Wouldn't I want to be funnier for $100?
Yeah.
And the answer is no, because I love a great deal.
Wow.
I love a great deal, and I think my parents are still in my head where it's like you got to get the best deal. So it's like, why would you pay someone to do the work that you're supposed to be able to do? You know. So
no,
that's so.
I don't
that's
know,
what I'm
man.
financially,
Try
yeah.
this other thing, man.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't even think you need to pay them $100. I think we could find you.
Well, but if you pay them less, then that goes around in the circuit.
that you're the cheap.
Yeah,
that you're the cheap.
Fumi doesn't pay his openers very well. It goes around, so I'd rather just not even deal with it. I'm so cheap, I won't pay anyone. I'm going up there by myself.
Wow.
I'm hosting, I'm featuring, and I'm headlining,
Wow.
Yeah.
You just declared to everyone you are cheap though already.
Yeah, I'm trying not to be. I'm trying not to be, but yeah.
Not that anyone's listening to this pod right now
Yeah.
anyways. But
That's so sad that I could just pay $100 and like be funnier. But I'm like, no. I need to say that's why I'm never gonna make it. It's because already
you
at this
won't
level,
put the money
I won't
into-
invest. Gotta spend money to make money.
Wow.
I know.
God. Well, you know what? You don't
Yeah.
need to forget it. You know.
Forget
Just
it.
keep-
Anyways,
until you learn your lesson. You
yes.
obviously haven't yet.
if
So
there are any listeners or cuties in Houston, Texas, I am
Cuties.
there the weekend of Thanksgiving. If you want to come see me and bomb,
or
come check me out.
open for free.
or even open for free. Even
Open,
for
but
free.
has to be for free. But
Yes,
you will
but-
have a great time.
But I promise I will pay you once I get like a full-time job again.
Really?
I owe you.
Dude, I wouldn't. What? You're doing an IOU?
I don't want to
that's
seem cheap to the
recorded?
listeners. Anyways.
I think that already naturally comes out from us.
Anyways.
I can't tell if you're cheaper than I am. Like, I kind of think you are about certain things, but
I think everybody has their own like
things that they're cheap about.
right? So it's like it's not a one-to-one, you know. But anyways, today we wanted to talk about love and money. Love and money.
Love and the money.
And what we mean by that is love or whatever. But I feel like the older we get and, you know, people dating in their 30s, money does complicate romantic relationships. It sort of muddles your view of like who is the right partner, who is not, even though in your mind you're trying not to be like a gold digger or something like that.
It's the third partner in the relationship.
It's the third
threesome.
partner.
It's
yes,
the
it's a perpetual threesome. When you're dating in your 30s, there's always a third.
Yeah.
And it's money. And it's
Wait, always?
always a third, and it's money. And he's always trying to like fuck you guys. He's always trying to fuck one of you.
Fuck all of us.
He's always trying to fuck you guys, you know?
I played the Powerball yesterday.
Okay.
Spent $30.
Why?
Because it was $1 billion.
You could help me find an opener. Why did
Exactly.
you do that?
Yeah, because that's where I'm putting my money. No,
Yeah.
I took the bet of potentially making $1 billion, and I lost. I won one of the Powerballs. That's how it works. If one of the numbers, it's like the mega number.
Yeah.
I got that number. It's 23 yesterday, so I got $4 back.
Oh, okay.
And so
you spent $26 to potentially.
Yeah,
You
but
paid $26 for this fantasy. I get it.
But I was thinking about all this. It's always exciting to think about that little bit. Every time you do the lotto, you're thinking about what would you do with that little bit of extra money.
So do you think like, because we were talking about how like, right, dating in your 20s and 30s is different because you think about money, but it's mainly because we're both in a position where we don't have like fuck you money. We don't have like a shit ton of money anymore. We're angels who flew close to the sun. And I'm wondering, had you if you became like a millionaire, do you think that you would not necessarily look for a partner who is financially stable?
Yes, 100%.
You think so? So
I would.
So
I don't care.
If you won that Powerball, you would date like a hot homeless guy.
I mean, homeless.
Not homeless, but
you
like
have aspirations of some sort.
But like you would date like a nice guy who like is like, I'm just trying to be like a clown, dude. There's a lot of fucking
if
clowns
you
in
fucking
LA.
loved, I like clowns.
Yeah.
Scary
God.
clowns, whatever. I've seen. You know what? Someone sent me like clown porn.
That's not what I'm talking about. Clowning is different. Clowning is like a comedy thing. It's a technique.
Are you talking? What is clowning?
Clowning is like, I don't really know what it is, but I'm not talking about the red nose on like the guy from the movie It. That's like a clown. But clowning is like a form of comedy that was like invented in France, and people go to school for it.
Oh, are you talking about like mimes? Is that a mime?
I don't
thing?
really know,
is
but in LA, when improv died, clowning became a thing. So now you'll meet a lot of people who are like, "Oh, I do stand up," and then someone's like, "Oh, I do clowning." That's like a thing.
What?
That's what I'm saying. So, but like, would you?
I want to take clowning classes.
But I'm saying, if you won this $1 million, you would date someone who's like, "Yeah, I clown full time."
Yes, if that's what they liked.
Yeah.
Yes, I think I think it's really nice to be with someone who is passionate about whatever it is, and they enjoy it and they have fun with it. It keeps me youthful just being around that energy of 100%. Like happy excitement.
Yes.
Not someone who if someone's like has like a $200,000 paying job at Facebook but fucking hates it and talks about and complains about it every single day, and I have to be around that energy. Yeah. I want to be as supportive as I can, but there's so much I can talk to about someone who's going through that type of thing. And so I'm like, you know what? Do the whatever weird, dumb thing that doesn't pay you, but you're happy.
You're happy.
With your life.
But this isn't a fancy where you just won $1 million.
I won $1 million.
But in reality, when we don't have $1 million, you know, who is more attractive? The Facebook guy who's making 200 and kind of complains every other day, or this young hot guy who does clowning? You know what I mean? Like,
I know it's so different, right?
I think it's so different. It really depends on like, because weird, money allows you to be who you want to be. You want to be around the clown energy. That's what you want.
Yeah.
That's what you, Steffi, on the inside, you want to be around Clowns. LA
Maybe
clowns.
someone I could play or
People say money is bad, like too much money can change you, but like in terms of romance, I think money just kind of reveals who you really are. If you have money, you can date the person you really want to date.
Hold on. Do you want to call your money your best friend? Is that what we're really getting at? If you had got that $1 million.
That's my best friend. Money's my best friend. This is such a toxic podcast, by the way. We try to keep it wholesome, but
this is not good. Because you know what? That shit leaves.
I know. But don't you think?
Don't you think what? You're like, I could see you just really thinking about this with your hand on your head, and you're like.
But I just think like.
$1 million's not even enough these days.
But I think that's the saddest part of growing up is someone says like, "Oh, you won $30,000." I'm like, so the fucking what? So the fucking what?
Yeah.
That's nothing. I'm in my head, I go, okay, half goes to tax. That's $15,000.
Yes.
That's like rent for a whole year. Whoopity fucking do. That's it. Not even rent. Not even rent. You know, for some people.
Why are we fucked in the ass by money? Like this is true.
But like when you were younger, were you like this? Because I was not. When I was younger, the women that I was attracted to were like fucking like. I love like bohemian girls, dude. It's so hack. It's so fucking hack. In the 2010s, early 2010s, I was like in college. I was working at this like cool ramen restaurant, and like all the hot girls that worked there were like they were living in like Brooklyn, and like at this point. This was when they would say, don't live past the Lorimer stop because kind of dangerous, which is the second stop on the L train. Now that's like such a ridiculous thing to say. Like that no one can afford Bedford and Lorimer. Yeah. But like these girls lived on like the Morgan stop, and they lived in like a fucking loft with like 17 people, and like they had tattoos, and they had the Skrillex haircuts. They would shave one side of their head. They were like pagan. I remember one time they like invited me to their like pagan like wedding renewal, and I thought that was like so hot. And I had such big crushes on these girls, you know. But now like in my 30s, I'm like, if I saw someone like that, I'm like, yeah, she's cute. But I could never see myself trying to pursue something like that.
Hold on, did any of these people have? Was money even a thought for you? Because you're talking about a type of person.
Well, I was 21, and so no. No, not at all.
You think about the pussy.
The pussy.
The pussy.
I was thinking about the pussy, you see. But I think like no, I wanted the pussy, but I also but I really I want to like date these girls. I was like, oh, I want to like take a cooking class with them. Like I really I wanted to like go out. I wanted to like be with them. Yeah. But like now like I look at a girl like that and I'm like, oh, that's like you're too fucking like, yeah, you know what I mean? You're too
what
fucking.
Is it? Too what?
You don't
free?
You're too free. You're too poor. Unfortunately, you know, like I know you don't have money because that's why you got 17 fucking roommates. And like I know I don't want to judge people by their money, but because I'm older and like if I was looking for a partner to build a life with, I'm trying to build a fucking life. And to me, the whole reason of a partnership, I'm realizing after being in a relationship for like 8 years, is like a true partner. It makes your life easier, right? It's somebody who has your back. And so yes, you love them. Yes, you enjoy their companionship, but ultimately this person makes your life easier and you make their life easier. Yeah. And I think with these Skrillex girls, I can't, it's just the pussy. You know what I mean? And like you can't have the rest. And I don't know. Maybe I'm just being judgmental, but I don't know. They were artists. They went to Parsons. They were fucking like, I mean, their art was fucking cool, but I'm like, I don't know if I could do this. And again, like if I was like a very successful TV producer or something, I would be surrounding myself with these.
But would you Would you be in a relationship with them, or are you just having fun with them?
No, I would.
Say that you were a billionaire.
I would be open to a relationship with him, and I would actually seriously pursue it. But you know,
so it is more you like the energy. It's kind of like what we're talking about. We want the person that we feel like is artistic and free.
Yeah, or like I would give it a chance. It may not work out, but like when you have money, you're more open to options and like figuring out exactly what you want. And when you don't have money, you don't have the luxury to figure out exactly what you want. So you're just like, I need fun, not rapey, and money.
Okay, you know what I mean? Right.
For women.
Why are you talking in the woman's?
I don't know why, dude. This today,
This is
I'm feeling kind of
interesting.
girly today. You know what
I
I'm
love
saying?
it. You know what?
I
You know
feel a
what?
little
Let's
girly
go with
today.
it.
I gotta admit, I'm feeling a little girly today.
I think like what we're talking about is stability, and
Yeah.
right now we look for a partner who's stable because we feel safe, we feel grounded, we feel it feels like we don't have. I think we date people who we project onto people what we want. So if this person is providing those things, we feel safe because both of us have these like jobs that are not that stable. That is a little bit. So it's nice to come home to this thing. But I think this is what I'm thinking for you is that when you have a lot of money, you feel stable.
Yes.
So you think like I'll need these other things in my life that'll keep me feeling excited about life.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Is that about right? Is
yes,
money
but what you just said is so sad because you're basically saying when you have a lot of money, you now have the luxury to be like, how can I have fun in life? You know? Yeah.
Wow.
That's fucked up. I mean, how has your taste in men or women have changed in their 20s versus 30s?
I don't. This is such a hard question for me because I don't think I actually have a type. I think I've gone backwards where I would date people who were like lawyers and doctors in my 20s.
Okay.
That were more stable. And it's kind of like what I was looking for and who I admired and who I wanted to be more like a stable person.
Was it because at the time you weren't doing anything creative? So what were you doing at the time?
I started,
real estate business.
Yeah, I was doing my real estate business, but even before that, I was pre-med, so I was always studying the sciences. I was always studying.
Oh.
So like I think it's
kind of like basic a little bit.
Yeah, it was very basic.
Wow.
Well, I don't think naturally since I was a kid, I was always like, my friends would always call me like the weirdo or the unique, most unique. That's what I got for in school.
You did?
Yeah. Well, I didn't win it, but I was, I was like, one of the,
like the top 3 or something?
Yeah, exactly. Always. That was always in me, but I think I wanted to really be this other person that was more like
what you are now.
No. Well, I see. I have identity issues that I still have to work around.
Okay.
But I think I'm more of who I want to be now.
Yes.
I'm much more depressed, but I'm more of who I want to be.
At the cost of my mental health.
Right. At the cost of my mental health. But I think that I forced myself into the idea of who I think I wanted from maybe my parents' perspective, and that to me was more successful. Being a doctor was more successful. Having money in a more safe and like way was more successful. But so I would try to find these people who I think that I thought, I looked up to, like men that like studied a lot, men who had a house already or a car and a career.
Were they fun and interesting or no?
No, now that I look back at it. No, they were always kind of fun. I have to say one thing.
Kind of fun,
let me tell you the one thing that most of the men I've dated have in common is that they were always class president or they were like the popular nerdy kid. So it's crazy. 3 of the guys that I dated like long term were the prom king. So like it's weird, right? It's like the guy. It's not weird. It makes sense. He's like the popular guy, but they were always kind of nerdy. Like they always got really good grades.
Yeah.
And so that was what I was attracted to. But now that I'm in the entertainment industry, I just look for someone who's like just has fun being creative. But that doesn't necessarily come with the success of the financial
stability.
part. Yeah, it's not stable.
And how does that make you feel these days?
Oh God, it's so confusing. I think I'm trying to like mesh everything. I want to create this like robot of a man who's like perfectly, just creative but also stable. And I'm like, how do I find that? And I understand now. When I was a kid, I was like, you can't make money being creative. But now I realize it's possible because I do have friends who are successful. It's not stable. I don't think it's necessarily ever stable, but I have to change the idea and the perception of what stability is, right?
Yes.
And stability doesn't necessarily mean that you have to have a 9-to-5 job or a job that pays a salary.
Right.
It could be someone who is making at one time a shit ton of money that goes 3-4 months without making another paycheck because they just finished a show or something. That's okay, right? Because I'm doing it and I'm able to, but there's always going to be this like stressful feeling that's like looming. Are we going to get that next check? I don't know.
Oh, and I think to help you combat that fear, it's really nice because I'm there right now and my partner has like a tech job, so I know that like if shit hit the fan, she's got my back, you know. And I don't know if I was single in this financial situation, I don't know how I would feel about like being with somebody who like, if I'm fucked and she's also like, I'm also fucked. You know what I mean? I'd be like, well, get the fuck away from me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I may not mean that, but that, and again, like, I know I sound like a fucking douchebag, like very materialistic man.
Whatever.
But I guess like, I'm just talking about my like initial emotions, you know? Like, just like, wouldn't it be nice if like, let's just say like, you don't work for 6 months. Let's just, I mean, let's hope that doesn't happen. But like, just say you don't work for 6 months. Wouldn't it be nice to like not have to worry about that so much? And you can just still continue to create, because as creatives, like we have to have some sort of, at least me, I need to know that I can eat and sleep under a roof in order to create something fun.
Yes.
Because if I'm worrying about the next meal, I won't be able to create anything funny because I'm on survival mode.
Yes.
And when I go into survival mode, I end up on LinkedIn. I don't want to, you know what I mean? I'm applying for UX research jobs. And so I don't want to be in survival. If I'm on survival mode, I'm not being creative.
Yeah, I love this whole survival mode thing because it is base standard that most people to feel good is that they have to feel like they can have a roof over their
yes.
And I think it's harder, maybe harder for men because you guys feel the pressure of having to be like the one to provide, maybe like in this patriarchal way.
Sure, yeah,
right?
Yeah,
so it's like an ingrained thing into our customs that it's recognized that the men should at least be a form of a provider. But I could see like if you don't have a ground base of the safety of knowing where your next check is going to come and are you going to be able to feed the family and all those things, right?
I want to talk about this because, you know, going off relationships and like kind of getting rid of the bullshit after the pandemic, there's sort of this question of like, there's this concept of the gold digger, right? And I think it was always like it's always seen as a bad thing. To me, I think there's different levels, but would you ever marry for money?
First of all, gold digger. The term gold digger to me is a very misogynistic word.
Okay.
It is a word to shame women, and shaming is a way to control women. So
okay, like the Scarlet Letter. Okay.
Yeah. So I feel like it's not a great word.
Shaming women to do what? Like shaming them for what? Doing what?
For control over power.
Control over power.
The one person with the money
I see.
is the.
Are you saying like, sure, if you're really just trying to marry someone for their money, like sure, it's an impure thing, but the point you're making is like, are we gonna pretend like men don't do that in other places in the world, and when they do it, they don't get shamed? So why shame a woman? Is that what you mean? It's like the act itself is like obviously not that cool. Yeah. But it's like this double standard of like, okay, when white men take over a whole continent in the 1800s, no one's like shaming them. You know, they can literally just take over all of Africa, and people are like, oh, cool, gold chains, dude. And then like a woman tries to like marry someone for some stability because also like, you know, back in the day, like you just didn't, like women couldn't get jobs or whatever the fuck it is, you know. And so no, you're absolutely right about that, I think.
Yeah I mean, you hear all these like, you know, like during the bombings you see these like men who bomb, like these incel guys, they're constantly talking about gold diggers. They're talking about like gold diggers and like only need, so I think it's just this like
they want to control women.
There's some way to find a way to make them feel bad. But I have to say this about, oh no, that's actually a different topic. But would I marry someone for money? That's a very loaded question. But I think that I've just become more picky about what it's very
what you consider marriage material.
Yeah, I think that I want someone who is stable and is financially stable. Yeah. Because I don't want to end up in a place where I saw like my mother, who was having to raise us financially by herself with 2 kids. Yeah. What if, you know, like these types of things make me, I'm like, I don't want to make those same mistakes.
Well, that's the thing about,
it's like, not just money. I can't marry someone because I did date somebody when I was like 24. I dated somebody who had a house, they didn't have a shit ton of money, but they were a professional that was probably making $300,000, and I wasn't making much money at 24. I'm 24. But I remember like I broke up with him because one day I was just at his house by myself. I was waiting for him, and I was I know.
felt like housewifey, like trophy wifey.
And I was like, and he wanted to get married. He was ready to talk about marriage. Or like he was talking to me about marriage. And was, I had met the family a lot, and like it was gonna really probably happen in a couple of years. And I was just there, and I was like, oh, this is my life in this like kind of suburb neighborhood of LA, just stuck here trying to look cute. I always felt like the sense of having to like offer him.
Right, because he was providing.
He wasn't even that. I mean, he bought like dinner, but it was just it just felt like he just had so much more, and it was what at that time why I looked up to him.
What I wanted to say is and not putting anyone on blast, but like my sister married a doctor, okay, and he's great. He loves her very much. They had a kid together, and I'm very, very happy for them. But like he comes from like more of a wealthy. His family is much more wealthy than my family. They own different properties around the world, and I think through that marriage, like she leveled up in society, and it's a weird feeling because I always like. This is why like there's always like merit versus like wealth, merit versus generational wealth, right? Like I always did better than her in school. I went to a better college. When we both graduated, she's only a year younger than me. I had a better job, and I felt like I was doing everything right. But as soon as she signed this paper and got married to this guy, she has now. Not necessarily in her account, but backing her is more money than I worked. In the last, like from 22 to 32, I worked so hard, and I can't compete. I can't compete with this access to resources she has now, right? Oh, God, and I'm very happy for her, but I always think about that. I'm like, and I always think like, what's wrong with finding someone you like and someone who can give you a nice fucking life? Because to your point, like, I don't want to fucking struggle. I don't want, like, I'm not saying I need a pool and like an estate and all this stuff, but like, I don't think there's anything wrong with, because we come from immigrant families. Like, I don't want to like struggle, Yeah,
and we don't want to work like our parents.
I don't want to work like our parents, and like I'm not saying I don't want to work hard. I certainly
you work very hard.
I certainly did and do, but it's like I don't think we should be shamed for wanting that, and I'm just putting that energy out there.
I agree.
I'm putting that energy out there.
Yeah, let's not work that hard.
Let's not work that hard. I also
that's why we believe in the lotto system so much.
Well, sometimes this is getting philosophical, but sometimes I feel like this American mentality of like work hard for the American dream is just like a stupid way for like white people to keep brown people down.
Yeah, I agree. Keep us working hard while they're. How many times do you see? We talked about this. White dudes
in tech or whatever. They don't fucking work, dude. Like I literally like I go to Hawaii and all these like white bros are like, yeah, I'm from Denver, and they're just like fucking delegating on Slack on their fucking Apple Watches, and they're fucking surfing, making 4 times I'm making, and literally like in New York City, I take the subway at night to go do shows. I see these fucking Mexican nurses who just worked an 18-hour shift. And I know they worked hard, but why is fucking Duncan in Hawaii and fucking Guadalupe living in like Bushwick in a fucking 2-bedroom with 17 people in there? Why is that the case?
We need a new relationship with our idea of money, and isn't it all a mindset? Should we work on that?
Yeah, but I in regards to love, I don't really know. I mean, but here's one good thing about.
We need affirmations.
Yes.
Positive affirmations.
I do think like I have a lot of friends, so it's like go back to the money thing and like relationships and love. Like, yes, you can marry for love or whatever, but I find some of my friends, my creative friends in their 30s who like don't have it together yet. Like they're doing fine, but they are not famous or they don't have a lot of money. They tell me that when they're on the apps and stuff, like women their age in their 30s don't want to date them. Because they're like, I'm looking to like build a life with somebody, and I can't do that if you're going to open mic night. You know what I mean? And so naturally they date 24, 25-year-olds, and they were like, I don't want people to think I have like a young people fetish. It's just that like only a 24-year-old woman would find what I'm doing kind of fucking cool. You know?
Like they don't have enough like experience to know that. Well,
I'm not saying what they're doing is not cool. It's just that like I could see how a 32-year-old woman would, you know, she's like thinking about kids and like, oh, I have to have a baby and I want to get married. And I don't think she's necessarily pressuring the guy into those things, but it's like, if I want a chance at these things, then I have to put myself in the right position.
Right.
And
that makes sense.
And dating a
That's
guy who makes front-facing videos on Twitter is not the move, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're easy. I mean, it's easier like when I was 23, 24 to think that, yeah, someone seems much more accomplished. Like I would still think that as an accomplishment as someone who is 35 and like up on stage. Like I'd be like, wow, he's doing this thing that like is so stressful and embarrassing and like something I don't have the confidence to do. I'm like, wow. But yeah, someone in their 30s are like, that's what you're fucking doing with your life?
I know.
Like how like if I pop a baby out right now, are you going to be able to provide for it? Are you going to be able to buy a fucking
stroller?
You know, a stroller.
The good one.
The expensive one.
The expensive one, bitch.
They're so expensive.
I know. It's so crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's a great point. And also, I forgot to say congrats to your sister.
Yes, congrats to my sister for having a baby.
But for having a baby, but also for marrying up. And that, in a way, doesn't it make you, aren't you part of the family? So you've kind of, in a way...
Yeah, but I'm toxic, so I want to like have my own money and be like, fuck yeah. You know what I mean? She did this thing to me. I was like, so my girlfriend and I we're like, oh, we're going to go visit and come see the baby over Christmas. Because I'm going to be in New York. So we'll take the train down to D.C. And but I was like, oh, hey, but like who's staying there? Because I know both of my parents are there right now. And I'm like, I know you don't live in like a huge house. Like who's staying there? And she was like, oh, don't worry. We'll get a hotel. We'll get you guys a hotel.
Oh, to rub that in your face. Well, we'll just get you. Don't worry about it.
I know. And you know what? I don't even have the financial prowess to be like, no. I can get myself. I'll stay at the Four Seasons. I was like, I was being such a fucking cuck. I was like, oh yeah, thank you for the offer. Thank you.
Swallow that pride.
I know. God.
Free is free.
It's toxic.
It's hard.
It's toxic. Anyways, in conclusion, don't buy Boba. Don't buy expensive Boba.
Oh man, it's what keeps me happy though.
Yeah.
I think I do it knowing that at some point I'll be fine. I think I just have this hope, and I think this is for you probably, is that we will get to where we're
gonna get the money that we deserve.
It might, yeah. We're gonna fucking get it because
we're gonna get through this podcast, and what that means is I need you guys to share this podcast with 10 friends, or your mom will die. Okay. This is we don't have a name for this yet, but we're just going to call it the unofficial audit. And this is where we show each other our credit card statements and see what we've been buying and see if we can sort of dig in the psyche of what's going on. So last week you did it to me. Yeah. So this week I will do it to you.
Hell
and first of all, before I even get into it, what kind of credit card do you have? I need to know. I will judge you.
Really? I have the Chase. I think it's called, I forget if it's Unlimited or Freedom Flex.
Oh, you got the Freedom.
Is that what I have? Let me see. Why? What the fuck?
Is it the one that's free?
Do you know everything? Are you one of those guys, you know, you study? Do you watch those like YouTubes about the credit cards and the best credit cards?
What if what if I told you my homepage was nerdwallet.com? It's not, but I do go there a lot.
I do too.
So it's free, right? It's the one that's free?
It's the Flex.
But is it free?
Yeah, it's free. It's free.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Why'd you give me side eye about that?
Nothing.
You should be proud of me.
No. I have that too. That was my first credit card. And then I feel like in the 2015s.
It's your first.
It's my first credit card.
I've gone backwards in my life because I have now. This is an example. This is a card I should have when I was in my early 20s. But the fact that you have now the credit card that I used to have, because you have, it's switched.
I got the Chase Sapphire Reserved. What's good? It's very expensive. It's like $400 a year. By the way, I know. It's fucking stupid.
This is what I'm talking about. I've gone backwards in my fucking life, and it makes me depressed.
But when you like split a check and you put the card down, it's like if you don't have an Amex or if you don't have a Chase Sapphire Reserved, I feel people do judge. I mean, I don't care, but like if
what are you thinking about? What are you thinking about when you see someone now who is your age?
I think it depends.
Putting the first credit card that you used
I think it says two things. One, you're not point conscious. Okay, we gotta be point conscious in this economy, babe.
Okay,
we got to be
our
point
babe.
conscious.
All right.
Okay,
Yeah.
three times points on restaurants and travel. Okay, you gotta keep that in
Okay,
mind. And
yeah.
I know you eat out a lot because I saw your credit card fucking statement. And two, I think so it's like one, you're not point conscious, and two, it's just like it's so materialistic, but it's like last week we talked about like. You are like you go home with a guy and he's like, oh, I'll give you a ride, and he has a Honda Fit. A Chase Freedom card is like a Honda Fit. It's like, oh, okay.
Wow.
But if you have a Chase Reserve Sapphire or like a Platinum MX, it's like you're coming in with that like Tesla with the doors that open like a Falcon. You know what I'm talking about?
It's
you know what I'm saying?
Oh my god.
This is the Chase Sapphire card.
Oh my god.
And then your card is like
You're like the bird has landed.
Your credit card is like I'm in your card and you're like, come on, baby, come on, come on.
Okay, all right, okay. I am in the market for you're right. I forget that people are so fucking judgmental. This is why Apple Pay is so nice. You just
no one can see it.
No one can see it. I use it. It's the primary way I use my card.
No one can see. Just you in the face. The face lock.
I've considered it because that was when I first went through my breakup, and that is when I had the Sapphire Reserve.
And you canceled it to save money.
But we also used to share the credit card. So now that we don't, I was like, what card can I get? When I felt the poorest I've ever felt was when we had to separate our ways. I had to sell my Porsche.
Yeah.
I had to move out of my like $7,000 a month rental in downtown.
Yeah.
Like this,
you guys live together though, right?
Yeah, a gorgeous high rise, 360 whatever views.
Yeah.
To my what felt like a tiny, like I really had to swallow my ego, get this Freedom Flex card. But now I'm in a place where I can get a new card where I can pay for it because I didn't even really understand how these credit cards work.
I think might I suggest the Chase Sapphire.
Yeah, wait.
There's two levels. There's like
preferred.
There's preferred and reserved.
So that's what I'm gonna get.
So I used to have a preferred, and the preferred is like $95 a year. I think that's like totally fine. I actually thought about downgrading because now that I put most of my stuff on my business card, I don't even use my Sapphire card.
What's your business card?
It's just a Chase Business Inc.
Oh, okay.
There's not like a ton of options.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it's expensive, but like you do get like a couple $100 back with like Uber credit, and then also you get TSA Pre is free, and you just get a lot of points. So I do think it's worth it if you spend a lot of money. But anyways, let's move on.
Wait, I want to get. I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna tell you, or I might get the Amex just to one up you.
Do you want to help me?
And I'll
be. You're gonna Falcon me, bro.
We're gonna go on a lot of coffee dates, and I'm gonna be like, dropping that heavy ass metal shiny ass card to show you up.
Yo. Okay.
Look at this Tesla.
Okay. So I asked you for your credit card statement, and
God.
I was expecting a PDF, but you sent me a bunch of fucking screenshots, and that's okay because that's sort of now that I know you have a Chase Freedom card, I forgive you, and you sent me about a month worth of data.
Yeah.
A couple of things I noticed.
Oh no.
Well, first of all, let's start here. Okay, so I know that like we always, I know you're not the richest you were in your life, but like, can I just say like, your gas is expensive.
I know.
Dude, $95.64 at ProMart. I'm guessing that's a gas station.
Yeah.
That's how much it takes to fill your whole tank.
It takes $100.
Is it a premium or just regular?
It's the most regular.
What's your tank? How many how many gallons?
I think it's like 22.
Whoa, because mine's 10.6.
What?
10.6 gallon. Well, but Jeeps infamously get like 11 miles per gallon.
Yeah,
right?
and I live in the city, which is a really dumb thing.
So why did you get a Jeep?
So the first boyfriend I had, who's the one that had a more successful job, had the Porsche and he had a Jeep.
Oh,
and so it became my dream cars because he would go off-roading.
Yes.
So my thing was like, okay, one day when I become wealthy, these are my two. And so I ended up getting the better Porsche than he had.
Yeah.
And I got a Jeep that he would go off-roading. So I was
you bought two cars.
No. So after I had to sell my Porsche,
yeah.
I was like, okay, well, the Jeep was another car that I had a lot of fun with in. And I was like, oh, I'm going to be like this, like, Jeep, G.I. Jane princess kind of girl. I'm going to go off-roading every day. I'm going to like lift the car up. I'm going to get tires.
Did you lift the tires?
No, I didn't do anything to it.
Yeah, is it a lease or did you buy it?
It's a lease. So I have a 3-year lease, but I got a fucking great deal on that shit.
How much are you paying per month?
about $300 a
That's good.
month,
That's
which
good.
is really,
really
good. But they gave me the wrong car. Isn't that wild?
Did they give you
They
a better
gave
one?
the APN. Yeah, they gave me a way better
Oh,
one.
that's
like
fucking great.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah.
That car should be at least $700 a month.
Yeah, no, I've been in your car. It's
Yeah.
fucking nice. I mean, I do feel
It
like
looks cool, doesn't it?
No,
It's
Jeeps
cool.
are fucking cool. And now
Yeah.
that they make electric cars, there's a part of me that's like, do I want one? You know,
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm like a Jeep guy, but I've been trying to think about
You're
like,
not
okay,
a Jeep guy.
okay, fuck you. But I have been thinking about like, okay, when I get another high paying job, which I will at some point,
Yes, let's go.
I'm like, what kind of car am I gonna get? And I'm looking at these cars, and I'm like, I don't want a Tesla. I don't want,
Really?
you know. But I'm like, I kind of want like, this is kind of fucked up. What I really want to do is I want to get like, you know how trucks used to be smaller?
Yeah.
I want to get like an older Toyota truck, an older one that's like pretty small,
Yeah.
and I want to get it like electrified or whatever. I want to turn it into an EV.
Electrified.
I want to turn it into an EV. You can pay like 20, 30 grand, 40 grand to make it into an electric car. You can pay any, you can make any car into an electric car. Yeah. Sometimes you can put it on a Tesla body. You know what I mean? So I think I want something like, because I just feel like if I get a Prius, A, like that says I have no personality, and B, like they're going to steal my something converter. You know what I mean? That thing gets stolen. You know, but I'm also like kind of MPG conscious, so I don't want to get like, I was looking at like cool like Acuras and like Infinities, and I'm like, these are all like 21 miles per gallon. I'm like, fuck no, dude. That sucks.
Wait, hold on. Is it a Toyota you want because you're Japanese? Like you have to keep it in the family? Because you have a Honda?
Because, well, Ford makes smaller trucks too, but a lot of American trucks are bigger, and I want like a smaller car. And so they used to, like, Toyota trucks now are, like, huge.
Yeah.
But, like, the ones from, like, 1990s, 1980s, they're really small, and they look kind of cute.
Are you talking about the ones with the, like, the truck, like, the back is open? Like
Back is open, bruh.
Really?
Back is open, bruh.
What
Yeah.
color? Red?
Red.
I could imagine this for you.
Yeah. Like a smaller truck.
Yeah.
A smaller truck,
Yeah.
dude. I'll get a dog,
I
but
like
it's like a
this.
Shiba Inu. You know what I'm saying?
I love it.
You
And
know?
it's unique and it's a bit nerdy.
It's a bit nerdy, but also, like,
cool.
but also, like, he's like, crazy and bad.
No. What?
Because I got the truck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd be fucking. Is that the vibe that it gives off?
No, not at all. You just said
Damn.
that you care about MPGs and that you were going to get an electrified
You're right. People
car.
who care about MPGs, they ain't fucking. People who care about MPGs, they ain't
No,
fucking. And you're absolutely right
an
about
electric car in one of those does not sound sexy,
You're right.
but
Absolutely
it
right
sounds
about that.
cool and nerdy.
Thank
You know,
you.
it's
Thank you.
this is equivalent to you and your desk setup where you paid for the fancy typewriter keyboard.
Yeah.
That
Yeah, I'm going back in time on purpose. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
it's like a
yeah,
modern
yeah.
down retro.
Yes.
But modern.
Modern retro.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
yes.
exactly.
That's
So
what
I like that. I like that.
Okay.
No. Okay.
Great,
I'm
great.
good.
Well-
I approve of that.
Okay. Another thing I noticed about your expenses, so you do go to the grocery store, but weirdly, you
Yeah.
don't. Your average spending at a grocery store is like $15 for some reason. Like, do you not cook? Like, what are you doing? And like, you eat out a lot, but I'm like, usually when you see like a Trader Joe's, like people spend like $50 because they're buying groceries for the week. But you're legit, it's like you're just like Trader Joe's $11. Gelson's $14, Ralph's $12. What are you buying at grocery
Cheese.
stores? You're just buying cheese?
I live on cheese and crackers at home. That's what I
Oh
eat.
my
If I'm not eating
God.
out, which I eat out a lot, and
Yeah.
people do tend to like. I'm very lucky. I always have luck with food.
Yeah. What do you mean? Oh, they like cook it up?
People pay for food, or they give me food, or
Yeah.
There's this guy that I hooked up with,
Yeah.
and he happens to be like a chef.
Yeah.
And so anytime I go to that restaurant,
He hooks you up.
he just gives me free food every
Do you
time, and it's
do
a
you tip
nice
them?
restaurant.
Do you tip when somebody gives you free shit?
Of course,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have to.
But you're saying even with the tip, you're eating, like you'll tip a $20 on a $100 meal or something like that.
Yeah,
You
and
should get
if
paid.
I go to my friends' restaurants too, I feel like I have to tip more. You can't help but like, because they're always giving a discount or like less.
Right.
So yeah, I eat out so much. That's where most of my money goes.
I
So
know.
my coffees.
What do you think about that? The eating out. Do you feel like, because some people can't help it, and I feel like for me that's like a really easy way to save money. You know,
But
I
are
mean,
you
like,
happy?
well, I don't ever deny myself, right? So it's like if my friend invites me to something, I will go. But I try to eliminate all the moments where I don't have to go out. So a lot of times when I'm alone, like you know, you buying coffee every fucking day for like $8. That's like avoidable.
Is that a lot?
I'm
Wait,
not-
okay. Are you actually trying to be a homie and you do want me to save money?
No,
by
I'm just
taking
saying-
away the thing that makes me the happiest.
That's the thing about. I think when you want to like save money, there's no reason to like you don't need to what is that word? Deprive of yourself of pleasures. Like I think it's just like, for me, it's like yesterday I was hungry. Could I go to Dr. Sandwich and pay for a $20 falafel plate? Yes, it's so good. But like, I just like, we had curry at home and I just ate here. You know what I mean? Just like stuff like that, where like, if you want to eat out, don't deprive yourself. But like, you like eating out because you like seeing friends, right? So that's cool. That's
I eat out by myself.
You eat by yourself. Okay, yeah. Well, see, this is an
issue.
This is an issue. And
Wait, but I can't help it because I don't want to. It's a lot of work
to cook. But the other thing is like, if you don't feel like cooking, if that's the other thing, and you'd rather have someone cook for you because it saves you money, dude. Like, this is my biggest issue. When I first moved to this neighborhood, I noticed. So in New York, you can always eat for under $10 somewhere. Chicken over rice, deli sandwiches. In LA,
no,
it's only taco trucks, and they don't always like. You don't know where they're gonna appear at night. It's kind of like a rare Pokemon, especially in this neighborhood. You just don't know where they're gonna appear. There's one by the Marshalls, but like I couldn't find any taco shops.
You
so
can't.
Like,
you're like hunting.
I'm
this
hunting.
Is primal shit.
Yeah. So I'm like, dude, like every time I go out in this neighborhood to have like lunch, it's always $20, and I'm like, this is not sustainable. Like I can't. So what I do is like, I'll buy like a wrap from Trader Joe's, and it's like $4, or like I'll go to get a sandwich at Whole Foods. It's about $10. It's pretty good, but it's like
Fumi.
10 opposed to 20.
Fumi,
These are things you could do.
No, but I don't want to. I want to live happily by just having more money. So you and I need to, instead of our old school way of how our parents raised us to save the money, let's fucking make more money.
Right.
And then we don't have to have these discussions where you're like, drink less coffee.
Fine. Let's keep going.
Okay. I love this pod because I feel like we're learning a lot
about
just
each other.
About each other, but I also think that I think I'm learning more about money.
I saw that you had Panda Express, and I want to just why and B, what's your take on Panda Express?
Oh my God, it's one of the best Chinese foods. It's one of the best Asian American foods.
It's not like Chinese, but it is good. I love it.
It's by Chinese people.
Is it?
Yes.
It's by Chinese people?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah. But Panda Express is the shit. It is my favorite still, orange chicken, basic as fuck. It's the most basic thing. I can't help myself. And it's healthy because I get the vegetables.
Yeah, but okay.
On the side. I don't always get the noodles. I get half rice and
hold on a second. Hold on a second. How much did you pay for the Panda Express again?
It was like maybe $12, $13. What do you think?
Oh, that's not bad.
That's not bad.
Wait, where is it? Hold on. Panda.
Oh my God.
I need to know how much you paid for it because that's my problem with Panda Express sometimes. I'm like, I go in there thinking I should be spending as much as I'm spending at a McDonald's. And then I walk out being like, wait a second, could I have just eaten at like John and Vinny right now? Like, I always feel like it's more expensive. You know what I mean?
It's not more than $13.
Okay, you spent $11.39.
Okay, so and I got I believe I got two
sides.
2 items. It's called 2 items. Yeah. And so that's worth it. I get that. I get a veggie. I get a bunch of veggies with it. That's not bad.
No,
and I'm happy. It's kind of like
I'm not fucking shaming you, dude.
Why does it feel like it?
Because I'm looking through your statements.
You wrote a model who eats Panda Express is so brave. That's what's in the fuck. He wrote a little side note to himself that he thinks it's brave. Guess what? Okay.
What? No, models can eat. Models should eat.
That's a cliche. The models don't eat.
I'm being problematic right now, but it's not my fault, and I'll tell you why. When I saw this Panda Express thing, I laughed because my only knowledge of modeling comes from the movie Miss Congeniality.
Oh my God.
With what's that one lady
fucking
from
Sandra Bullock.
Okay, and there was a scene where like the girls order pizza and they go like, no, we shouldn't. And then they all fucking eat pizza. And I'm like, oh, I guess like if you're like a model, you can't have pizza. And it's like great. It's like ingrained.
You're programmed to believe.
I saw that movie when I was like in 4th grade.
Right.
And so I'm like, I just know models don't like really eat or watch what they eat. But it's just really funny because I know you model. And like literally like it's like Panda Express. You ate at a restaurant called Wine and Eggs. So much sugar. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Dude, wine and eggs.
Boba, like multiple times a week. It's like, oh, this girl don't give a fuck.
Okay, that is actually a problem. I I went to Wine and Eggs. It's like a grocery shop, and
okay.
I bought eggs for $9. A dozen eggs for $9. That's insane, right? But I couldn't get anything else because I was in the neighborhood, and that was
I don't
that's
understand.
all they had.
If you're paying $9 for eggs, it better fucking do your taxes for you or something. Like, what is it? Like, what? Why? You better crack the open. It's like a little guy being like, "Hey, have you done your tax?" Like, why is it so expensive? Was it good?
I don't know. I was making banana bread. I was trying to get rid of my I bought 99-cent bananas from Costco, and I had 5 left. And I was like, I'm gonna banana bread. You're right. I spent more money buying the eggs. I bought to get rid of the bananas. This makes no sense.
See, I know that your whole philosophy is like you gotta spend money to make money. Like, don't worry about saving $10 when you can be worrying about making $10,000. But like, I do think that, some of this is like, it's pretty aggressive. You know what I'm saying? $9 eggs, I'm going to go ahead and say that's fucking aggressive.
They're cage-free, hormone, less hormones, they're bigger. They're happier eggs, which should mean that I'm happier now, but I'm actually even more stressed thinking about how I didn't spend the money right, and now I need to make more money, and it's the cycle.
Dude,
I go back
I'm
and
literally
forth.
like picturing you like fucking being so desperate for gigs, be like, I gotta pay off my egg debt. You like take out a loan to buy eggs.
You know what? I'm about to end up on Craigslist tonight trying to look for part-time jobs or gigs. Have you ever done that just to see what's out there? I did that last night. I did it to find out like what kind of jobs. Like, I want to be
Craigslist. Why not LinkedIn? Or
I don't have
Monster?
a LinkedIn profile. Don't you need one to be able to like search other?
One. Yeah.
What am I gonna put there? I know how to fucking like juggle with two eggs.
No, you put your like real estate experience on there like a normal fucking person. Why would you open with juggling? Why would you? You know what? That's some shit that a person who buys $9 eggs would say. You have no understanding of the world, okay?
I don't know how to use LinkedIn. I never used it. None of my jobs required it. I want to
ask you this. We'll do a couple more. I want to ask you this. What is Michael's store? $98.
Oh my God, you
like Michael's,
are to me that just screams that you've never done arts and crafts.
Oh, so that's what I was gonna ask you.
Oh, you do know?
Well, I do know. Like, it's like a Joanne. You've been to a Joanne? Well, in my mind, I'm like, why would Steffi go to Michael's?
Yeah, that's why.
$98. Oh
my God.
What did you? Was it a Halloween costume? What did you buy?
No, I'm redecorating my house because I want a space where I feel good when I walk in.
Yeah, of course.
Right?
You deserve that.
I don't want to buy a painting that's like $1,000. So I decided, you know what? I've bookmarked all these like amazing pieces of shit art that I know I can recreate instead of spending thousands of dollars.
Okay. Recreate? You're gonna draw?
Yes, I'm gonna fucking paint my own mural.
Like Van Gogh or something.
Sure. Okay. Yes, I'm gonna.
You're copying someone.
But what ended up me thinking was gonna be cheap. I ended up buying a frame. I bought the best version of the art. There's levels.
You bought the best easel.
Now it's sitting in the middle of my living room. It's been sitting there for a few days because I haven't gotten to it.
Do you paint and draw?
No. I do if you call. I do. I actually have a few pieces, but they're bad.
Wait, but why didn't you just like print them off the internet or something? Like you can pay to get something printed.
I want to create it for myself, and I want to perfect it.
But
I want the colors that I want.
Right, but you're not. But you're actually recreating something. You're not like it's not Steffi original art. You're like gonna like pick a painting and a picture.
It's I could never. I hate copies. We've talked about this even with like dupes. Nice thing dupes. Yeah. I have to change it. But what I have inspiration is the colors. I want it to be red and kind of like this pinkish peach color.
I also think it's funny that you're like you're gonna like basically like it's kind of like you're gonna paint paintings that already exist. So you're right. You're recreating paintings. That's like if I came over to your house and you're like, oh, should we put on some music? And they're all just cover songs by you. That's what it is, bro.
Oh.
Is this Taylor Swift or is this you 2 wines in?
Steffi Swift.
Steffi Swift.
Steffi Swift.
Anyways, I think that's good for today. This was great. Thank you so much for listening, cuties. If you like this podcast, please tell your friends about it. We're very new. It hasn't been released yet. This is unreleased territory right now. Who knows if this will ever see the light of day?
I know, this is so great, and we still have so much fun.
I know, it's great.
Who's watching
so
this?
please follow us on social media. I'm on there at the Fumi Abe, the CHEFUMIABE.
Yeah, and I'm at Baked Goods, BAIKEDGUDS, and we have our own Instagram.
Yes, it's
Cash Cuties at Cash Cuties Pod.
on Instagram.
On
and
Instagram.
We have one follower. It's me. Right now, and we don't even have
I
a
don't
picture.
think
And
I
in
follow
fact, the
it.
name is wrong because Steffi made it wrong, so it says Steffi. So no one really knows what it is yet.
But the handle is Cash.
But the handle is
Cuties.
Cash Cuties Pod, and we're
Yeah.
gonna post clips on there and stuff. So please follow us, and then email us at cashcutiespodcast@gmail.com. Tell us what financial topics you want us to talk about. Tell us any financial binds you're in, and we'll discuss it on the show. We love you guys, and we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.